Are Filipinos really a bad tennis crowd? The crowd is certainly loud, enthusiastic, maybe a bit over the top, excited for sure, and most of them have never even watched a tennis match in their lives. So it's safe to say they don't exactly know all the rules of tennis etiquette. So are Filipino fans as bad as people say they are? We're about to find out.
Good morning, B.
Good morning.
Asan tayo ngayon?
Pioneer Village walking
For what?
for NBL, National Bank Open 2026. Woohoo!
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're in Toronto, Canada, on our way to Sobeys Stadium, where the National Bank Open WTA tournament is being held. We're here to watch two amazing players on the WTA tour. First, we have Leila Fernandez, Canadian-born and half Filipina, and one of Canada's rising stars in tennis. And of course, our homegrown Filipina, Alex Ayala, who is taking the tennis world by storm and starting what everyone is calling Eala Mania wherever she plays. From Miami to a title in Washington, and now Toronto. We're officially swept up in Eala Mania. Now, getting to Sobeys Stadium is pretty easy. You can take the subway and get off at Pioneer Village Station, or drive and park nearby. From the station, it's just a short walk to the stadium. Once you arrive, you'll go through a quick bag check and have your ticket scanned. We were here for the evening session. The doors opened at 4 p.m. with the first match scheduled for 7 p.m. We explored the grounds for a bit, and there was a nice party atmosphere everywhere. Food and drinks were being sold, live music was playing, people were hanging out, and the energy was contagious. But at the same time, we were keeping our eyes open, because you never know when you might catch a glimpse of one of the tennis stars walking around. We met up with some friends who had arrived earlier, and they told us they actually got to watch Naomi Osaka finish her match on one of the side courts. So here's a little tip: get there early. Even if the main court is closed for the evening session, there are still matches happening on the side courts, and sometimes you can even catch players practicing or walking around the grounds. Soon, they opened the gates for the main courts. As we entered, the seats began to fill up, and you could see Filipino and Canadian flags popping up everywhere. There was this not-so-quiet energy building in the stadium. Honestly, didn't feel like a tennis match. It felt more like a basketball game. We could already feel something different. There were Filipinos everywhere. It was this quiet sense of community and belonging, feeling of camaraderie, like saying, I see you, we're here for the same reason. Sometimes it's a slight nod, a warm smile here and there. Nothing needed to be said, and honestly, it felt really good. The announcer seemed to match the crowd's energy, introducing the players with his best Bruce Buffer impression.
From Canada!
And you could see the players looking around, probably a little surprised by the turnout and the energy. And that first match was amazing. Leila showed her class and talent, taking control of the match and winning straight sets. Her experience and technique were simply too much for her Mexican opponent, and the Filipino-Canadian crowd was there supporting her every step of the way. Filipino flags beside Canadian flags. Filipino Canadians fully supporting one of their own.
It was amazing. They truly meant a lot to me. I was super happy to be here playing at home again.
Then the next match was about to start. First game, Alicia Parks, powerful American player who had actually beaten Alex the last time they met at the Australian Open. And I don't know what I was expecting, but all I heard was cheering and applause. No boos, no heckling, no disrespect, just a crowd welcoming one of the players onto the court. And then came Alex. Of course, the crowd erupted. Filipinos screaming, flags waving, people jumping. It was a full-on Pinoy fiesta in Toronto. As the match went on, the crowd was, for the most part, incredibly respectful. Excited? Absolutely. Loud? Definitely. Sure, there were moments where the umpire had to remind people not to cheer, shout, or react while the ball was in play. And I'm going to blame this one on the old titos and titas and their uncontrollable nerves. But here's what impressed me. The moment the umpire reminded them, they listened. And that's when I realized this crowd wasn't the problem I thought it was going to be. So are Filipinos really a bad tennis crowd? After actually being there, they're loud, they're emotional, they're enthusiastic. Some are definitely still learning tennis etiquette, but they're also respectful, welcoming, engaged, and incredibly passionate. And let's be honest, everyone seems to be in agreement from pros to organizers. They would rather have a stadium full of excited fans learning tennis than have an empty stadium where nobody cares. These people spent their hard-earned money to be here. They came to support one of their own. They came to celebrate their culture on a world stage. And Alex Ayala is not only an incredible player, she's becoming an incredible ambassador for Filipino tennis, and more importantly, an ambassador for the sport itself to thousands of people who might never have watched tennis before. So who exactly is saying Filipinos are a bad tennis crowd? Honestly, I think sometimes it's Filipinos themselves, because maybe we're our own worst critics. But I was there, I saw the crowd, I felt the energy, and instead of feeling embarrassed to be a Filipino, I walked out feeling proud. Proud of the people, proud of the culture, and proud that our community can bring us this much energy and passion to a sport we're still learning to love. So mga kabayan, don't worry, the Filipino crowd isn't perfect. We may need a little more tennis education, but that's a good problem to have, because a crowd that needs to learn is still a crowd that showed up. And if Eala Mania keeps growing, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more Filipino flags on tennis courts around the world.
This is an incredible atmosphere, one that you generate everywhere you go now, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. How good does that feel, playing around this atmosphere every single time you step on the court?
I'm eternally grateful. I just came off watching them, so I really feel like... Linggo-linggo po kayo nakikita, sinusupport ako. Linggo-linggo po nakikita kung saan yung kamahal ng kapwa ng Pinoy. Kaya proud na ako na naging Pinoy. Thank you everyone who's here tonight. Thank you to everyone who's supporting tennis and creating atmospheres like this. It's really the best of my life to experience this.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. From Toronto, mabuhay ang mga Pinoy tennis fans. Salamat.